A very good evening from the newsroom, the news for this Friday, 2nd of February. The Electoral Commission has cancelled the registration of the Independent Conservative Union of Seychelles, ICOS. The party was registered in 2015. However, due to continuous failure to comply with the provisions of the Political Parties Act, the Commission gave its approval to cancel the registration of the party due to non-compliance to a section of the Act. The Commission has once again called for compliance with the Act governing political parties. At present, there are 7 registered political parties. 8 non-governmental organizations have received contracts from the National Grants Committee that would enable them to start their respective projects. The chairperson of the committee, Eileen Moses, says 22 non-governmental organizations had applied for the grants, but only 16 were found to be eligible for grants after they went through all the necessary procedures.
We've done this session, it's the first of its kind that we have done, as we want to raise awareness on grant compliance. So it's taxpayers' money, and we want to ensure that the funds are well spent and the targets of the projects are achieved. Hence why this session today. With regards to monitoring, we have a designated grants manager, and her role is to liaise directly with the different grantees in order to ensure that projects are being implemented. So primarily we do project monitoring visits, and all entities are requested to submit progress reports depending on the amount of projects. So the first report will be due it will be the mid progress report, which will be due in June, before we proceed with processing of the disbursements. So disbursement is not automatic, as we have mentioned and as stipulated in the policy. As a committee, we actually sit and we go through all the receipts or the progress report, and just to ensure that funds are being spent as per the approved budget. And if need be, we can take the decision to either stop the disbursement or reduce the amount of funds being disbursed. But at the end of the day, all funds which are unused, even if they have signed the agreement today, as per the policy, any unused funds needs to be returned back to government, and there's a process for that, and all the grantees have been made aware of that process as well.
SBC has been receiving certain reports that yesterday morning there was a line of pickup trucks blocking the road outside of UCPS at Pointe-la-Rue. This morning, an SBC crew passed by UCPS around 6 a.m. to assess the situation. There were no trucks on the road. However, there were over 20 trucks lined up inside the premises waiting to buy materials. Certain drivers who did not want to speak on camera explained that they are facing a lack of construction materials on the local market since CCCL stopped functioning after the explosion on the 7th of December. UCPS has claimed that the shortage is due to a broken machine. They have said that the spare part is expected to arrive in the country in around 2 weeks' time. And once the machine is repaired, they are not expecting there to be any further issues with production. The prosecution is still amid calling witnesses in the murder case against Nicole Isidor. Amongst the witnesses lined for today were the 2 police officers who were first respondents to the presumed crime scene on the Northeast Point playing field. The officers gave their accounts of what they did and observed in relation to the case. Isidor has been charged with murder in the death of Cliff Pillay. The Poglo and Poon Wetlands commemorate 20 years as a Ramsar site. The primary Poglo students and teachers, as well as the Minister for Agriculture, Climate Change and Environment, Flavien Joubert, planted new mangroves in the wetland at the Constance Evelia Hotel. This year's theme, declared by Ramsar Convention, is wetlands and human well-being, which denotes the importance of the connection between people and these fragile but vital ecosystems, which bring numerous benefits to the global community.
20 years since Seychelles made a bold decision to designate its first Ramsar site, seen as wetlands of international importance, and this paved the way for the designation of two other Ramsar sites, namely Mao Cochon, a high-altitude wetland, and coastal wetlands of Aldabra. Both were designated in 2010. First and foremost, our priority was to protect and manage these fragile ecosystems with their wide range of biodiversity, which made Paul and the wetland stand out amongst other wetlands on the island. Numerous efforts have been made to maintain the ecological functions of this wetland through the sustainable approach that will sustain the socio-economic activities of Port Glo communities, but also nationally. In its quest to ensure the sustainability of the Port Glo and Port wetlands, the government has received tremendous support from NGOs and private businesses, of which Constance Ephilia Resort and also recently the Nature Seychelles under the LEAP project and SPGA stand out as some of the main contributors. These efforts have contributed to successful, sustainable management of this site from its conceptualization and its operational phase of the resort.
Artists in Seychelles are asking that customs recognize all the equipment they use so that it is clearer when they should or should not pay taxes when the equipment enters the country. This request was made after customs officials met with the artists to explain customs procedures in tax payments when equipment they use enter the country. Artists say they are concerned because in the presentation of tax procedures, emphasis was placed on musical equipment such as keyboards and guitars. They say, as example, not much emphasis has been placed on visual arts like canvases and paintings and on equipment for photography and films. Custom officials said that for any equipment an artist imports into the country, customs tax must be paid unless the law provides an exemption. And with this, we come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for watching. Next on SBC is the cookery program La Cuisine.